It's Pibble Pusher, and today I'd like to walk you through how I made these quick and easy water tiles. They're magnetic and perfect for going with other magnetized dungeon tile sets. So let's get started. I had this 1.5 inch XPS foam laying around. Ideally you just want 1/2 inch, but I'm trying to go through some of my old scrap. Ideally, I like to do these as 3 inch by 3 inch so that they match all my other dungeon tiles. And of course we need to cut it down to the right width as well. I'm hoping I can fit 3 sort of widths worth of tiles out of this one piece. So I used my Proxon. You could physically measure this and use a utility knife as well, but this just makes it really, really easy and quick. So as you can see, I have lots of 3x3 sets of dungeon tiles and they should all work together. This set is magnetized, so I'm going to use it to dictate where my magnets are going to go to make sure that my polarity matches across my sets. I generally do this by attaching some magnets to the already magnetized one, laying them flat, and then pressing against my new set of dungeon tiles to leave indents to kind of show me whereabouts I want to place my new magnets. Once you have it marked on all 4 sides where you want your magnets, you can use a ballpoint pen or utility knife if your magnets are a little larger to create indents where your magnets can be recessed into your tile. This is a really good time to mark the top of each tile in a Sharpie. You want to make sure they always stay the right side up so you don't accidentally mix up which side is which when you're setting your polarity on your magnets. To ensure my magnets aligned properly between sets, I decided to use the old dungeon tiles as a guide for these new water tiles. So I attached my loose magnets to the magnets on the old set and then added glue to my new tile and used the old tile to apply the new magnets. So I add a little bit of glue to our holes that we just made, and then press the new magnets that are attached to the old magnets into the new tile. Give them a moment to set, and then you kind of slide them apart. This can take a few tries to get the hang of, but once you've got it, it's not too difficult, and then you know that your magnets are the right way around in your new tile. I do recommend changing which side you're using for this from your kind of guide tile, just to ensure that your new hot glue doesn't melt the old glue and loosen the magnet too much. You can always re-glue it if it comes out, but it's just a bit annoying. Once your magnets are in place all the way around, you can go ahead and paint over them with a black paint and Mod Podge layer, and I like to paint over the bottom of my tile as well, just to make them look a little cleaner. For the top of the tile, once our paint is dry, we're actually going to get some white glue and some toilet paper. And we're going to apply it with a generous amount of glue to start making wave textures. Now we end up doing this for 3 layers to really make little ridges and lines that we can then dry brush to give us a wave effect. You will usually have some overhang. You can go ahead and just tear that off and then use a bit of glue to stick the sides down to keep everything neat and tidy. For your last 2 layers of toilet paper, you actually want to use your paintbrush to push the paper into those little ridges and lines, trying to keep them going in the same direction like a wave. Let that dry fully, and then it's time to paint. I did a base coat of a black and blue mixture, then dotted in some more vibrant blues and greens before finally dry brushing with white to try to really capture the tops of the waves and give them like a sea foam, sea spray kind of look. You can also, once you're all painted and everything's dry, add a few layers of clear transparent glue to give it a little bit of extra shine, a little bit more of a watery effect. This can really be the cherry on top to make these things pop. I'm pretty pleased with how these turn out. They snap together nicely. They go with my other tiles. Couldn't be more pleased. If you want the full written tutorial, you can find that in the description. And until next time, Happy crafting. Oh, and one more thing. You know me as Pibble Pusher, but I also go by Xania Platten. I wrote these books, so if you like fantasy games and think you might like fantasy books as well, do check those out in the description. It would help me out a lot. Thanks so much, and take care.